everybody, it's Robin Scherzer with Robin Stampin' Hood. Welcome to my hood and welcome to my September club projects. I'm actually doing this video before club. I'm catching up. Hip hip hooray, right? Okay, so this month, since it's September and next month is October and Halloween, we have to get started on our Halloween stuff, right? So I am focusing on the spooky suite, and that includes this fun paper. And you know, this paper, the way I have it, you really can't see how great the pages are because there's just, I didn't do it justice, just let's say that. So the suite comes with this paper. It comes with these cute, fun little foam star embellishments. It comes with this ribbon, which has kind of got a, I know you can't really probably see it. It's got an iridescent ribbon on it. And it comes with 2 sheets of these die cuts, pre-cut die cuts. Now, some of them you might only get a couple of them. Some of them you might get 3 or 4. Some you might get even more than that. Like the the candy corn, there's a ton of that. A lot of the cute little bats. But this is part of the designer series paper. There's actually a sheet, which it's actually this one on the other side, and I know you can't even tell. That's why I laid it out this way. So you could see there's tags that you can use, and that goes with the iridescent treat bags that you get in that suite as well. And then of course you get the dies. Look at that, isn't that so adorable? And they all match up with, of course, the stamp set. So you can see the little kitty, little Frankenpup, and then the bats, and then your little pumpkin here. Those get cut out with that, and then there's that cute little fence, and this haunted house is adorable. So that's what the spooky suite is. All right, so we're gonna make 3 projects with that today. So let's get started. Okay, so the first card we're gonna do is this cute little hippopotamus. Now, if I still had littles, oh my gosh, we would go crazy with this. So that's part of those pre-cut die cuts, and it's all colored in for you. Now you can take your blends and do some more coloring if you want. Like in some of the cards I did, I colored his little beak, the Granny Apple Green, and we colored in her little wings with Winkastella, and we gave just some more coloring. You know, if you wanted to, you could absolutely. So we're going to use the little hippo today, obviously. He's so cute. And then I am using this is the Stylish Shapes. So let's go ahead and get that started. Now let me tell you a little bit about our club. Now some of the girls that are in the club couldn't make it this week. So I'm doing this video for them as well. So you might occasionally hear me say in your packet. So that's for those gals. But I got a deal for you. If you place at least a $30 order with me before tax and shipping, I will ship you the packet of supplies for this. Now I can't stamp for you, so you would need the spooky suite, you know, the stamps and what you're gonna see me stamping. But I would send you like this die cuts for that. I would send you the little hippo. I would send you all the paper that you need and even the embellishments. I just can't do that stamping for you. But I would do all the paper and die cuts, and I would send that to you if you place an order of at least $30 or more with me. Now, if you're local to me, I can leave it for you to pick up. If you're distance from me, you would just need to pay the postage on that. And that's going to be about $5 for postage. So you would just need to send me the money for that. Okay, so let's get started, shall we? So let's go ahead and stamp our little spooky. Now I put my pad underneath there because it needs that little bit of padding. Sometimes you can get away with it, sometimes not. So I'm using Memento ink, and we're just gonna, right in the middle, do our little spooky. Oh my gosh, so cute. All right, and I did do the inside of the card with a little pumpkin. So I'm gonna grab the inside for my card, and let's go ahead and get that done right away too. because then we don't have to worry about it. Let me grab my ink. So I'm using pumpkin pie. And then, of course, oh, this cute little, you know, I might even add some more in there. How about that? So again, you would just need this stamp set, but I'll do all the die cutting for you and all the cutting of the paper. So you would just need the stamp set and the ink. And like I said, I have a few of those. So if you place the order by the 26th of September, if you do $30 or more before tax and shipping, I will send you the packet of supplies to do these 3 projects we're about to do. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and put this on the inside because I will lose it in my messy desk if I don't. Notorious for that, right? Okay. So now we have something that we can write on to whoever we're gonna give this to. And then this is the paper. Isn't that cute? So that's the other side, is that darker color. But I'm gonna go ahead and do some layering. This card is so easy, you guys. That's what I love about this suite, is that there's so many easy things. Look at this cute paper, all the little candy. Oh gosh, I still have photos I need to scrapbook from when Sage was little, so I guess that's gonna be one of the papers I save. All right, let's go ahead and put that on. This, like I said, you guys, this is so simple and cute and easy. Wait till you see the other. I did 2 cards this month and 1 project, and you are gonna love the project. And yes, I'm gonna send you everything in the project if you place that order by the 26th. So I'm just gonna do this to kind of break up the, I kind of feel like it was too gray. So that's why I did that strip across it. And then I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna grab my little hippo. He is so cute. And then that helps him not like blend all the way into the gray, because I think the gray would have been too much against him. So I wanted to give him some kind of color. So in your kits, you might get a different color strip. You might have this petunia pop, or you might just have like a white with orange in it with the pumpkin pie in it. So there's different colors of these strips that you're gonna lay across, so don't get caught up that I just laid down this pumpkin pie one, but there are different colors. I wanted to utilize as much of my paper as possible, and I certainly did when I did that. All right, so I'm gonna pop this little hippo up. He's so cute. So stinking cute. All right. Oh, I have to cut my edges. You know, I'm always talking about I love to utilize everything that I can. And on pieces like this, my edges, I love them. Because sometimes you can't just put that kind of a piece down on a smaller piece. So when it's a bigger piece like this, and I just want to make sure he or she is not going to sink when I send this card off. I'm going to send some cards to, my daughter lives in a villa this year for school, for college. She's a senior in college, and I'm going to send all her little roommates and her a fun little Halloween package. I think I'll get them each a little Starbucks card. Not much, because I'm not worth that much money, but so they can each go get a little drink if they want. All right, this is always the hardest part, right? Okay, so we're gonna just put our little, yay. And then because he's popped up, I'm not gonna pop the spooky up. I'm just gonna glue it down. Put it over like that. But then of course we have to embellish, right? And I showed you those really cute embellishments that come with the suite. So you can see this is, you get a big pack of them, and they're squishy. So when you go to mail, they're not going to be bulky, which I love. Okay, I already have little blanks here because I've been using them like crazy. So I think I'm just gonna take a real small one, and I'm gonna put it right here on his little bag. I think I might have crunched it up. We're gonna try that again. Oops. All right, let's try that one more time without mutilating. You know what? I'm gonna, because they are foam. I'm gonna grab it with my spatula instead, I think. And I'm just gonna put one right there on his little, his little bucket. And then I'm gonna put, oops, put one right here. Okay, now they wanna get away from me. And then we're gonna put another one right here. And that's the first project. Is that adorbs or what? Why, yes, it is. Okay, let's go on to the second project. Okay, so the next project, you guys, you're gonna love this. I can't wait to show you. So it's a little box. And again, this is the stuff that came from the die cut. So I used this and this on this particular one. You can see it there. And then this tag. And so I just kind of trimmed out the tag, but I'm going to show you how to do this. So first of all, you're going to need a piece of black cardstock or whatever color you want to use. And again, if you've gotten the supplies from me, you're going to get what you see here. So we're going to take our 9.5 by 7.5 box and we are going to score it. So let me make sure you can see that. Yep. So we're going to score it landscape. So when it lays this way, it's landscape. This way is portrait. Okay. So we're going to do it landscape. And because my first score is small, I'm going to start off to the side over here. But then I'm going to switch it around. So we're going to score at a 1/2 inch first. And then 2 inches. 5 inches. Oops. And 6.5 inches. And I'm going to have to open that up to do the 6.5 right here. Okay. Okay, so that's our first score. So that's 1/2 or a 1/2 of an inch, 1/2 inch, 2 inch, 5 inch, and 6.5 inch. And then I'm going to turn it portrait and we're going to score at 3 1/4. And again, I'm scoring off to this side, but I'm going to flip it just like I did with the 1/2 inch. So I'm going to flip it so I still have my score at 3/4 and then 2 1/4 and then at 6. Okay, so that's all you have to do for scoring. So the big thing here is knowing where to cut. Now keep in mind, oh, I didn't show you what's in the box, you guys. You are going to love this. Now I got this idea from another demo down in Illinois. Her name is Annette Krause. And she did it with a ghost, but I did it with pumpkins. So it's a little s'more box. Is that the cutest thing? Oh my gosh. So I have your little graham crackers, your peeps, and your, oh my gosh, I love it. Okay, did all the scoring, right? So we are gonna have to get rid of some of our ends, bits and pieces. So I'm keeping this thinner score up toward the top because that's going to be my flap for my box. So what you're going to do, first of all, is along this top line, along the skinnier line, you're going to cut all the way across to the second score line from the right and snip that off. And then you're going to come back and you are going to snip this off because we don't need this large rectangle. Now, we could have snipped off just this and then snipped off that. It doesn't matter as long as you come up with what we're about to do here. And you can definitely do this on your cutting, whatever you use as a cutter. I'm just kind of making them a little bit even, more even, because I can see I don't want to see the score line, okay? So then I'm going to cut this way as a flap. So that's a flap, and that's a flap, okay? And then again, I talked about just a smidge of a miter right there because we want it to go easily into our box. So, and again, it works. It doesn't work as good as I want it to work. So, do that. So the important thing is don't cut your flap in this way, but cut your flap this way. All right. So, and again, I'm going to miter these. So when my box closes, it's not so horrible. All right. So I hope that made sense. I know I really confused you guys. So this is what the top should look like because this is the top that's going to tuck in to our box. And again, I'm just kind of cleaning it up a little bit. All right. So we are going to get rid of this triangle. No, we're not. We are going to cut up, cut up, cut up to that first score line. I'm getting rid of this triangle, the small triangle, because we don't need that. All right. Okay, so now I still need to do a little bit of mitering on these tabs. We don't want to do it on the bigger ones because that's the ones those are the ones that are going to show. Okay. Boy, you guys are going to learn so much from my mistakes. All right, there we go. Now I have done it correctly. So when you go to close your box up, you're still going to do just what I said, but now you're going to have flaps on the top of your box instead of how I did it. So I did it wrong. So do as I don't do. Do as I say, right? So I'm going to put this back on my original here because that one is good. And that is what your box should look like before you put it all together. And then your sticky strip is going to go on this smaller outside piece. And then, so you don't make the same mistake that I make, you might want to just wait to put your designer series paper on the bottom. Sometimes I just can't critically think like that right away. So it's easier for me to do it after, but do a lot of your work when your box is flat. It'll make you much happier when you do it that way. So that, again, here is our box and what it should look like. So I'll let it sit there for a second. If you need to stop it and do your cutting, you can go ahead and do that. So before we do any more assembling, I want to go ahead and put all my pieces and parts together. So what you're going to do is if you have this label, even if you have the other one, I'm just going to kind of trim around it and get rid of the squareness of it because it just doesn't fit quite how I want it to fit. But you don't have to do this. This is totally up to you. Just kind of trimming it down with the little skull. I keep wanting to bring the skull at the top, but it actually belongs at the bottom. So we're going to do this. Just trimming around. Again, it's totally up to you if that's what you want to do. All right, and then I'm going to have it layered on top of this piece. Okay, now I do have all these pieces cut to lay out. So I'm going to put these down first because it's just easier to glue things down when your box is flat than when you're trying to do it all together. So I'm actually going to layer this all together right now, if that makes sense. So this piece is going to go on top of this piece. And if you get supplies from me, you might see that some of the, like I said, I'm pretty good about using everything that I have. So if you place that $30 order before tax and shipping, and I send you the supplies for this, you might get a different background here. You can see here I used the gray background and then the petunia pop on top of that. But this time I'm using this one. So it could go together differently than what you're seeing. You just might get some different colors, but it's all part of that suite. All right, so then I'm going to layer this on top of that. Perfect, perfect, perfect. And then we're gonna go ahead and put this on our box. So make sure you're putting this on the front. So the flap's gonna close in this way. So we're gonna go ahead and layer it here, okay? And then we have some side pieces and bottom pieces and top pieces that go on. So that's our front piece. So I'm gonna go ahead and layer. And again, you might get a different color of this side piece, but I promise it all will coordinate together. So I'm just kind of framing it out on there. And now we go to the back and we're gonna have just a plain back. Okay, because no one's looking at the back. They're all looking at the cute front and what's inside. All right, then we got this, yay. And, oops. And I threw some extra pieces in these kits as well, so you can kind of play with it a little bit and add or subtract, whatever your heart desires. Okay, and then these two small pieces are left for the top and the bottom. And you wouldn't even have to do the bottom if you didn't want to, because again, nobody's gonna see it. But I had the paper and I like to use all that I can. So we're gonna go ahead, put that on. Oh my goodness, I can't even pick things up. All right, and then we're gonna do this. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Okay, but I'm gonna do one last thing before I put this on. We're gonna go ahead and you can see on my sample, I have Don't Worry, Eat Sweets, of course, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and grab my piercing pad and my stamp, and I'm gonna grab my ink because I need ink, right? All right. Oops. And ink it up good. Like I said, I will not be sending you anything stamped. It will all be the die cuts and the paper supplies. So get those orders in and I will be happy to send this to you. So then what I did is I went ahead and cut this apart. So then you can just kind of layer it how you want it. So I am going to just cut it. Oh, I sure got ink on my fingers, didn't I? There. And I'm gonna just cut it down small there. And small there. And I think that works. So then I wanna go ahead and put this on again before I close her up. It's just gonna be easier. So I'm gonna put that there and there. Now, the one I have here is a little thinner and you could absolutely make it smaller, but I don't think I'm going to because it's gonna fit nicely on the box. So I'm just gonna get my glue going. You guys, I just love this. It's so cute. And like I said, this was not my idea. I got this idea from Annette down in Illinois. She gave me a box like this as a gift last year. And I was like, oh my God. And it was after Halloween already. So I was like, I just am gonna hold it and I'm gonna make it later. So there's that. All right, so now before I get everything put together, I'm gonna go ahead and finish this off. So this one you can see I have, you know, the bottle, but there's so many die cuts in this thing. And I think there's 6 or 3 of these and 3 of these. So I thought I'm gonna mix it up a little bit and I'm gonna go ahead and put this one down and then put the green bubbling stuff. I don't know what you call it. The witch's brew. I'm gonna layer that on top then. And then I'm gonna actually pop that up to give it a little bit of a dimensional feel. So let me grab my dimensionals here. Oh, this is so cute, you guys. And I'm gonna actually use some Stella on this as well, because it will just make it glimmer. It'll be fun. It'll be fun. All right, let's get those taken off. Like I said, I like to do this all while the box is flat. It just makes it so much easier to work with when your box is flat. All right, so I'm gonna pop that up just like that. And then I'm gonna grab my Stella. And I'm gonna just color in my bubbles, stay in the lines if I can. And it just gives it that little extra something, something. I know it's hard to see on camera, but Stella, man, I love it. It's some of the best stuff. Right. All right, so there's that. Now, if you get the packets from me, you'll probably get one little bat, and you definitely will get some candy corn. But what I did, because one of the dies is also a bat, so I kind of like this bat a little bit better. But I will throw in some die cut bats as well into your packet. So I think I'm going to use that, but I will use the candy corn on like the outsides, because I think that's kind of fun. Because you just never know, right? And I'm just going to do it this way. It'll be a little bit easier, I think. Do a little off to the side. Oh my gosh, that's so cute. I am going to do my bat up here. Oops, hopefully that wasn't too much for my bat. And then we're going to put that. Oh, we want to make sure he doesn't come off the box too much, because you don't want him to rip off by accident. All right, and then I'm going to go this way, and I'm going to add another candy corn since I have one. I actually have 3, so maybe we'll just do another one over on this side. Oh my gosh, you guys, it's so cute. You're gonna love it. So cute, so cute. Got a little bit too much there, but that's okay. That's okay. All right, so let's go ahead then and close it up. So what you're gonna do is not do what I just did. I put my tape on the wrong side. It should be on this side. So we're gonna try that again. See, you're learning from my mistakes. Isn't that awesome? Now I'm not gonna take that away because we don't want it to be sticky on what goes in there. And I can't believe I did that, but yes, I can believe I did that. So let's go ahead and don't do what I did. All right. Oh my goodness. That's called brain mush. Like, I am brain mushy right now. Okay, but you get it. So just don't make the same mistake I did. All right, we're gonna pull these off. Don't pull off the wrong ones if you do what I do. All right, so what we wanna do then is we're gonna close up the bottom by doing this, this, and then this. All right, and then I'm just gonna go in with my bone folder and give it a nice, make sure it gets stuck. And I guess I could have taken the tape off of that to grab onto those flaps. It would have been fine. And then your little thing goes in like that. All right, so, oops. Right, yep. Oh, you know what? Did I do it upside down? I did. You can do it my way or your way. Oh my goodness, I've just lost it. All right, so we are done pretty much. So I'm gonna go ahead and just stick my paper or my stuff in there. All right, so don't do what I did. Oh my gosh. I have totally lost myself. It's okay. It's okay. So there you go. You could do it either way. You probably want the flaps on this just to help hold it down. I didn't do a good job there, but you get it. This is the idea. Okay, and the third project for Club this month is super easy. I wanted to show again, like all the stuff you can make with this suite in the paper. Like literally, I love it. So I'm going to, and it's just so easy to create with. So we're going to use some of that paper, and I cut out a die from the Everyday Arches. So if you don't have this, you should get it. It's a great, it's got stitching and all the different sizes. I love it. So the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to stamp on this piece. Now again, you're going to get all the stuff from me if you place that $30 order before tax and shipping, but they're all a little different, but they're the same. So like when you look at this piece, kind of decide, do you want to stamp this way or this way? So I wanted to make sure the pumpkin stayed there, and I wanted the kitty cat. So I'm going to, and I like the color of the pumpkins, but if you didn't, if you wanted to do it this way and cover up that pumpkin so you can see the eyes, and you know what, maybe I'll even do it that way because I do like that I can see 3 different windows. And this one is kind of the same as that. So whatever piece you get, you want to kind of play around with it. Like, do I want it to go that way? Do I want it to go this way? So I think on this particular one, I'll show you my sample. That's what I did it that way. But now that I've laid it down that way, I like that I'll be able to see 3 different windows. So definitely look at that when you are about to stamp. And again, I will not be stamping anything for you, only showing you what you can do with the suite. And if you have your own stamps to do these types of things, you know, go for it. Go for it. I'm sure you have Halloween stamps from previous years, and you could definitely use it that way. So we're going to go ahead and stamp that. Perfect. And then we are going to go ahead and stamp the inside as well. I love the little bats, so I thought it'd be fun to put the bats on the inside of this. So I'm just going to take my, when I'm done, go ahead and put some bats right there. I think that's perfect. Yippee skippy. Let's get all this ink out of my way before I hurt somebody, because I will. I absolutely will. Let's see. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and put this together. This again is a very simple card. So I've used basic gray is my base. And then let's go ahead and put the inside in there real quick. Now you could mat this again if you wanted to, but because my pieces are cut on the front to 4 by 5 1/4, I decided I'd just keep it that way. So again, this is cut 4 by 5 1/4. So if you decide to get the whole suite, you can make more of these cards. All right, I mean, really, is this the easiest thing you've ever seen, right? I'm gonna go ahead and I'm not gonna pop this up. I'm gonna just lay it down and then embellish it. So I am going to, I really want the cat because he's mad, which I love. So I don't wanna I don't wanna cut him off too much. Okay, so again, we have our 3 windows, which I do like that. And then I'm going to come on with the embellishments. And gosh, I used this whole thing up, so I don't have very many left other than the one sheet I just showed you. So I'm going to use the rest of these black ones up. I know I keep switching up how I'm doing things, don't I? So I'm going to just put some around this little give it a little something, something. So this is such a basic, easy card for you guys to do. And it's using up that paper that you might go, I don't know what to do with this. So whatever you want to do, you can do it. All right, so that's it, you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. So here's the 2 cards. I moved my box, but look at, I've started to make up some packages because I think I'm going to give these to my daughter's friends too for Halloween. I think they'll get a kick out of it. So that's it, you guys. I hope you enjoyed my club. And like I said, if you place an order before September 26th or by September 26th of $30 before tax and shipping, I will send you all the supplies except for the stamp set and the inks, obviously, but all the die cuts, all the paper, so you can do this yourself at home. Thank you for stopping by, and have a great day. Happy stamping.